Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the lab. Let me double check ye olde levels because I've been messing around with stuff this morning. What could possibly go wrong? Let's see here. That looks okay. That looks okay. Actually, that looks okay. Oh snap! We actually may have done something. So, welcome everybody. As mentioned from last stream, this will potentially be the last episode for the bot on stream. The bot is still going to continue to live because, well, it is serving for my purposes for the stream, and there are still some thoughts, some ideas, some bugs that I am probably still going to work on. And what I'm going back and forth on is whether or not I record those sessions as like little short clips and then upload those to the YouTube channel. So still working on that, still trying to figure out if there's interest in that, if there's anything that if there's anybody that would be interested in that. I am realizing that I don't have a link to the YouTube. That's kind of a problem. Let's see here. Let's grab that real quick. But yeah, this is potentially going to be the last episode. I think we had a couple more things that we wanted to do for the polls. So let's see here. There's a thing that I need. Aha, here it is. Channel, copy. Okay, I'm grabbing the YouTube channel so that I can add it into a command. Prefix YouTube, which I think I can do. Message, VODs, and short clips uploaded here. There we go. Just do a little bit of code before we actually start the stream. Which, speaking of, since we're actually coding, let's see here. Let's just get to the code. So what I just did is inside of config, just another prefix and another message. And yes, I'm adding this into the poll branch, and I'm mostly doing that because we're going to be merging that branch today. So that running back up. Make sure that this does the YouTubes. Perfect. And there she be. Ooh, let's see here. Uh-oh. And now the chat box is not going to do a thing. Test. Chat box down. Chat box down. Aren't supposed to do that. Uh-oh. Hang on. Let's come back here. That's not what I'm looking at. I need... Oh, that's definitely not what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at. Control, refresh. No. No, that looks good. Test. There it is. All right. Code screen. Test. Sweet. Alrighty. So we'll leave that where it is so that I don't... Case in point, I've been messing around with things this morning. So... But let's do that one more time. There we go. All right. So all VODs and short clips are uploaded to the YouTube channel. That is a link to the YouTube channel. Just in case if you want to see old VODs or if you miss a stream or whatever, I upload them all to YouTube. All right. Oof, that is cold coffee. Lovely. So. Where did we last leave off? Because I actually don't remember. Poll test script and add answer counts off by one bug. Caught by web and keyboard. Thank you, mate. So let's get back into the code. And let's see here. I think we had a couple of things that we needed to do for the poll handler. Actually, I think the polls were working. Case in point, I don't actually remember what it was that I did in the last stream, but come back over here. See if I left a note for myself. On-screen poll element. Ah, yes, that's what we were thinking of doing. So The interesting challenge for on-screen elements for me right now is that I don't really have a lot of on-screen real estate, which I've been trying to figure out how I want to handle that. I'm considering popping the chat box out and potentially bringing that like down here somewhere. Maybe. Because I also have there's just some stream like layout things. Like if I had the chat box down here, I would have to move the code screen up a bit, which is fine. And then I would have like a tiny chat box there and a current stream project down there. So some things that I want to change, but then the question would become, where would the poll go? Would the poll go like, there we go. Would the poll go up here then, where the current labels are for bit subs, gift, and eventually once we get to bloody follower alerts, last follower. But anyways, details. So in thinking about the poll and in thinking about how I would want to do an on-screen poll element. So we talked about this a little bit when we were building the labels, and the labels, which we actually improved last time. Metric label.html, improved by pulling the HTML out of the Go code. So we have more or less just a very simple content section, and then some JavaScript to do a constant polling. In this case, it's every 3 seconds. I think we would probably have to be a little bit quicker than that for an on-screen poll, just so that we could have the numbers updating accordingly. But that should be doable. Let's try it. Let's try it. That's the whole point of the lab. Let's try. So this is going to be a poll box. I'm going to do that. And then section content, more or less. Although we're probably going to have a slightly different layout for this. So we'll put this every 1 second. Maybe every 1 second. This is one of those things where it would be nice if I had WebSockets. If I had the ability to do a WebSocket, then I wouldn't have to worry about the polling interval so much. It would just be events being fired back and forth. And that would also allow me to do we'll have to add a check for, is the poll actually running? Because if the poll ain't running, why are we polling? But that's a whole different thing. So fetch content right now, just doing a thing, going to API endpoint. It's kind of sort of the same layout. The difference though is that this one would be a little more structured. So the assumption here is that we're gonna have a layout, a data layout, something like, what do we want here? This indentation though. All right, fine. We'll go back here because trying so hard. It ain't getting very far. I ain't getting very far either. So we would probably have a very similar layout to what we have in the bot itself, in the server. And then the answers probably be an array of label, some stuff, and then I guess we could just do a simple count. Something like that. So if we had a question and a bunch of answers, it would look a little something like that. Unintentional. So with that, because what we could do, I think if we had, there's some ideas that are flowing around in my head about styling these things, which I still don't know if OBS supports. I'm still trying to figure that out, like how OBS supports styling, because it looked like it did. If we had, say, something, do something else there. Okay. If we had, what do we want to do that says? Just a P. P. Aha! No worries, Phil. Thank you so much for the lurk, and hope your day is going well. So this would be the question. Oops. I'm basically setting up a, or at least I'm trying to think of how I want to style these things. Well, I think UL class equals answers. The challenge with a UL is that the UL is going to require some immediate styling. So then in here, this thing really does not like, really doesn't like that. Okay. So let's see here. And let's actually change this from content to poll. Section.poll. Let question equals document dot query selector section.poll e.question, I think would be the selector. And then this would be the UL answers. So I'm just getting some anchors for each of these, which I don't necessarily know that I'll need the content selector. I think I'll only need this. So if we did question.innerHTML equals for this one, we would actually just be doing r.question. So we have something like this, kind of theorizing this structure here. So once we get to, so we call the API endpoint, we should get something back that looks something kind of sort of similar to this. Once we get that back, we would need to, let's see here, how would we do this? We need to append. We would need to append, which I do not recall how to do in vanilla JavaScript. JavaScript, append li to ul. Yeah. I think it was like a document create. Okay. Append child. Yeah. Basic JavaScript. Who'd have thought? So for this, we're effectively, for each answer, we're appending an LI, a list item, into the unordered list. Although technically it would be an OL. It would be an ordered list. But details. All right, so for this, we'd want to do R, assuming r.answers has to be non-empty. So r.answers.for each answer. I hope I'm not mixing up JavaScript and Scala right now. Pretty sure I'm not. So for each answer, we want to do a answers .append child document.create element. Do we have a text element? We do have a text node. But we're gonna do create element, and then from element, that's where we do an li, and then our yeah, no. Oh, we have to do this. Oh, create element li. So we actually have to do this one by one. Let answer equal document create element li. Answer dot append child. The append child was a text node. Document dot create text node. Then this would be answer dot label answer dot count, and then answers dot append child answer. Look, a little something like that. Little something like that. Although we're also missing a close bracket. So going back to what we going back to this. So assign the question for each answer, create a list item node, create a text node of effectively label, colon, and then the number of votes for that answer. Append that to answers. Yeah, we're good. Otherwise, we got a problem. We do need the well, yeah, we do need the box. So let container equals document.query selector section.poll can't write with a damn. Hey, good morning, really Frank. Thanks so much for stopping by. Welcome to the lab. How you doing, mate? We futzing around with some JavaScript. Send help. Send help. He's messing with JavaScript. Oh man. Every once in a while I'll bump into JavaScript. Every time I do, I'm like, I'm happy I'm a backend developer. Although I will say I did have quite a bit of fun with React when I was learning React. I eventually grew to dislike it, not so much because of React, but because of the tooling. Like Babel and Webpack and all these things that we had to have just to make it work. But says the man who's been very spoiled by Go, where there's one command: go build, go test. I feel like I'm missing something. but every time I feel like I'm missing something, I feel like I'm overcomplicating it. So let's just leave that there. Now for the style, I think it's poll dot or ul dot answers. This style type none, just so that we don't get those really annoying bubbles next to it. And then I think there was a I could technically also use grid for it, but yeah. UL, well, let's see here. CSS grid UL. I'm kind of curious because I don't remember how I did this before. Vue.js plus Go right now. How are you liking Vue? Out of curiosity, because Work actually uses Vue for the front end, and I think my problem is that it reminds me of Angular, but I know it's not Angular, and I know that they did things similar but different from Angular, but I keep seeing it and I go, Angular. But then again, I'm also the type of guy that enjoys doing things like Svelte, so take that as you will. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, the joys. Now this was really cool. I actually saw CSS Grid being used to build what was effectively like what do they call those? Oh no, I can't remember the name of the chart now, but it's meant to show intensity of data values. Like you have all of these data values which are roughly the same. You've got this one which is a little more significant, but then you've got this one, and this one's like, oh, pay attention to me. I can't remember what the name of the graph is that represents that, but I saw somebody implement that with CSS Grid, and I was like, yo, how you do that? And then he showed me, he's like, oh, I'm going back to Go. Ta-da. I don't think we're gonna need grid. I don't think we're gonna need grid. Grid feels like it feels like overkill for what we're doing, which is just this and that. Well, you know what? Let's do what we did before. So we have question is, does this render? And for the answers, we would have just a series of li, yep. I'm being a little hopeful. Li, nope. 42. This is more or less what it should render out to. And so if we then, well, now we're getting into let's see here. Preview. I don't think I have a preview, so open poll box. Aha, so it does have the margin in between it, which is not great. Sure, let's fix it. Answers, list style type none. I think margin needs to be 0. Padding needs to be 0. And so margin 0 actually did nothing, padding 0 did nothing, and then margin bottom. Yeah, that wouldn't be terrible. Does this render? It looks terrible, but that's the whole point. I like it more than React. It's not perfect. Love to use Svelte, but their Svelte kit does not look done yet. Ooh, Svelte kit. Svelte kit. ¿Qué es esto? Your project requires a template. Why? Now, the last time, for anybody that's not familiar with Svelte, the idea of Svelte is that it's basically a compiled JavaScript variant. So instead of having a virtual DOM like a lot of libraries do right now, it compiles your code into vanilla JavaScript that does direct DOM manipulation, more or less. It's a very, very simple output. I mean, it's complicated as all hell to understand like how you actually do this. But the idea is that you have these Svelte files, and inside of the Svelte files, you have your JavaScript, you have your HTML, you can have nested elements, just like you would with React and HTML components. And then you can also have basically localized styles with tag localization and whatnot. And it's reactive. That's kind of the big thing. And they give you things like, you have state management. So you do this, you have a handle click, you can assign things to elements just like you would in other libraries. But it kind of has its own format for it. So it kind of runs that border of you need the toolkit to actually do things with it. You can't like just open up an app.svelte file in the browser and expect to see something. So that is in my opinion, one of the downsides, but you don't really get that same level unless you are using a library that's like super heavy HTML tags or server rendered templates. But this is Svelte. Now, Svelte Kit was this thing. The fastest way to build Svelte apps. Go on. Svelte Kit is an application framework. Build bigger apps with smaller footprint. All the SEO and progressive enhancements of server rendered app with the slick navigation of an SPA. Svelte Kit doesn't compromise on SEO, progressive enhancements, or the initial load experience, but unlike traditional server rendered apps, navigation is instantaneous. So is this kind of like a what is the route that I'm thinking? Is this basically meant to be like a server that is hosting and rendering your pages? Yeah, it's a framework, but each page of your app is a Svelte component. You create pages by adding to the source routes directory. Code splitting, offline support, server rendered views with client-side hydration. Blah, 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 blah. Got it. Okay. All the things that you end up adding to applications at some point, more or less. God knows service workers have been the bane of our existence recently. The heart of Svelte Kit is a file system-based router. They've come back. I can't remember who initially did file system-based routers, but it's that idea of your directory structure kind of defines what the navigation of the app looks like. Okay. Interesting. So they kind of got a little bit of a, like the initial thing that drew me to Svelte in the first place was just like SPA's mild to moderately complicated applications. It scales really well, in my opinion. It scales really well. And then the compilation to a native JavaScript binary, the output is really freaking small. So it was really kind to tenants that were using your application, but without sacrificing a lot of the niceties that like React and other libraries brought. But it was definitely a very different way. Although I think this is, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't this very similar to how Vue does these components? Although I think Vue was more of a, like, instead of a .vue file, it was a .js file. I can't remember. Shows how little I've actually used Vue. Yes, it is. Hey. Many good ideas, many different implementations. But let's see here. But yeah, that's really cool. I want to give SvelteKit a look a little bit later, just to better grok what all it's offering. That's the thing with some of these apps, is that you'll see something pop up for the kits, and you start looking into the kits, and they're really cool, but they're also super freaking early. It's like, you can get the best of both worlds for SEO and progressive enhancements. Like, yes, but if the app doesn't work, details. But that's really cool. I didn't even know they did that. Svelte. All right, let's see here. Now, what am I doing? What am I even doing? Oh yeah. I just realized that this wasn't even in Vue earlier. So this is I just opened the poll box and was just futzing around with the styling, and all I really need to do is add a couple of small styles to ye olde poll box. Poll box. There we go. List style type none. Margin 0. Padding 0. And then for the label, question. This one was margin bottom 0.5 EM. Just to make it at least look a little bit nicer. Now the question becomes, what does it look like when rendered? Server. Do we have? We do not. So s.router.get. We want this to be s.get current poll view, just to follow the same convention. Base URL plus what do we want to call this? Data? Or I guess we could do API / poll. So we do a slightly different router.post for poll, a router.get to get the current poll, and then an s.router.get API poll. And then this will be s.get current poll. So we're just setting up the two routes that'll be necessary to render the poll, number one, and then oh right, we need to do remember how I said that we were only going to have one label HTML? About that. Now we got two. Now we got poll HTML. Template, a template. Let's see here. So we got the label HTML string and the poll HTML string. And this constructor is getting big, so I'm probably going to look into making a config version. And then we will do more or less the exact same thing for the poll. So this is going to be the poll template. Poll HTML string, if error is not equal to nil. Failed to parse. Poll HTML template. And this is poll HTML equals template. So we are not doing that anymore. So now we've got, we're just kind of setting up some of the plumbing. There we go. Words, hard. Setting up some of the plumbing for getting that, not full label, for getting that template down into the view. And then same thing for, basically the same thing for that. I've got a label HTML, poll HTML, which means that in our main.go, we have another embed, poll HTML for on-screen poll renderings. Go embed pollbox.html, poll HTML, way down, come down to the server, and down in the server, poll HTML. One more time. So, we have this pollbox.html file, which is now included as part of the project. So the first thing that we actually had to do is we needed to embed that HTML file into the Go binary. Tons of ways of doing that, but Go has a built-in way of doing that with the Go embed label, or the Go embed comment. This is a comment, and yet the compiler knows what to do with it. It will, in turn, read that file's contents, and in this case, since it's a string, it will read that file's contents into a string. So that does all the heavy lifting for us from there. The template is now embedded into the binary, which is glorious. And then, way down here on our server, we now pass that new embedded file into the server. Well, I shouldn't say it's an embedded file. At this point, it is text. It's a string. So with the server, now that we have that string, we then parse that string into a HTML template. That's what template.template is. It is a HTML template that allows you to do some parsing if you wanted to. Now, technically, we're not going to be doing any parsing of that template. This is really just a convenience method because the template being a HTML template, we can more or less do what we did with the labels, and I'll show that real quick. So when you call a HTML template.execute, you give it the response writer, which is what Go is going to write to respond to a HTML or to a HTTP request. And so that execute does a couple of things for us. Things like it sets a couple of headers for us to identify that as HTML. Blah 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 blah. It's glorious. So we're going to do the exact same thing for the current poll view, even though we're not doing what we do with the label views, the things that are up above, where we're actually, well, actually, no, that's not true. We are going to be passing in API endpoints, so that's technically not true. We're not really going to be injecting label into it, but we are going to inject an API endpoint, so I stand correct. I was going to say that we don't actually use any of the template, what's the word I'm looking for? We don't use any of the template interpolation, but that's a lie because we literally have template interpolation right there. So we'll re-enable that here in a second, but for now, it's just going to be the poll as it would exist if we had an active poll running. So now the question becomes, I think we're probably just going to do a, how do we want to do this? Server bits handler. So we'll do, yeah, we already have a poll handler, so we'll do a poll handler. So in here, we have a couple of things. So we have the function for creating the poll. And now we do already have, well, no, that's the request struct. But that is actually the same thing. It's going to be the same struct that that we use for the API. Well, let's do this. So what we need to do is we need to add in a let's see here. This would be what did I call it? Get current poll view. Yeah. And the get current poll view takes an API endpoint as a string, and it returns a func http.response writer. All right, did I have? Yeah, there we go. And it returns a http.handler func, which looks like that. And this is poll HTML.execute. In fact, create poll should also be a http.handler func. I use HTML template for generating emails. Ooh, oh right, because that is smart. What do you use for actually sending the emails out of curiosity? Do you use something like AWS SSE, SendGrid, Mailchimp? What's your fancy? I've been pondering looking at SendGrid for a couple of things, but get current poll. Ah, it's still doing the thing. I thought I fixed that. Ah, sad day. Get current poll view. Renders and returns the poll on screen HTML box. Yeah. Super simple. Super simple. All right. And then we would also have, so we have a create poll. I could also just call this a current poll view and fetch current poll to be a little more consistent. Current poll view. We would have a func server fetch current poll, which does not take that. Now, what I was kind of thinking about earlier, this struct is going to be reused for both the create and the fetch. And what I was going back and forth on was whether or not I wanted that struct to be shared between the two. So what you've seen me do up to this point is something that looks a little bit like this. So you would have in this case, it would be a response, but the struct. So in this case, the only difference would be that one of them wouldn't have a minutes return, but they're still basically the same thing. So we would have something that looks like this. We would return we would do an s.write JSON at some point, and it would be a response of blah. So return. In fact, we could do this a little more realistic. So, did I put the response code at the end? I did. Oh no, just s.write JSON. Now, write JSON takes the response writer, the struct we're going to send. So question, does this render? And then answers. In this case, we can just do a slice of string. Yep. 12. Nope. 42. So this would just be a little bit more of a, call it a more realistic representation. Oh, no, we did put it up here. Okay. I was like, wait, did I actually put the response code way down there? No, I didn't. Catch up on this. Standard Go send mail that delivers to Postfix, which forwards to Zoho. Ah, okay. I need Postfix there because SendMail doesn't support the newest encrypted mail protocol. Ooh, interesting. That is far more involved than I was expecting. Hey. Okay. So Go has a standard library for sending mail that gets sent to Postfix for the encryption protocol, and then Zoho is the I'm assuming Zoho would be the mail client, or I guess in this case this would be the mail server. That's interesting. Because I've only we currently use SendGrid, and I think SendGrid was just a REST API, if I remember correctly. It was surprisingly simple, all things considered. But that's kind of cool. So in that case, I'm guessing you render your own HTML, you render a bunch of other things for subject, carbon copy, blind carbon copy, yada yada. That gets sent off as a payload. Aha! Zoho is free for just a single sender. Ah, interesting. Although that being an EU address, I'm wondering. I'm wondering if that's going to be useful for a filthy American like myself. But that's really cool. I'm gonna make a note over here. Go send email. Postfix and Zoho.eu. Oh yeah, look at that load time. Ooh, that took a little bit. I just added a couple of links off to the side here, but that's really cool. Emails. Very difficult to implement. Surprisingly simple to send, which is probably why we get so much bloody spam. That's still good. Okay. Oh yeah, this weird little bug is back, so I'm probably gonna have to look into what's doing that. It's like there's a section in between here that's not getting fixed properly. Oh, yeah. 4 is missing delivery. Oh no. I think I have a bug logged for that one, but Yeah, can't just run your own SMTP servers these days. Well, in theory you can. In reality, kind of like, not something that I would wish on anybody. So let's delete this. So we're clearing out the HTML template a little bit to give it a realistic attempt. So we got our view, we got our poll, and in that case, we're gonna need a browser input. So this is poll window. I'll just call it poll box. Why not? So there that is. Localhost. Poll. And that's going to return a 404 page not found, which is fine. We are going to need to copy. And where are you? Full box. I need to copy paste that styling. We do not have font size, so we'll get rid of that. Oh, yeah, we do. I lied. Ooh, it's tiny. Let's see here. So if we do that, save all that. Is it gonna work? Or 4 page not found. Whoops. What'd I call it? Yeah, no, it was git poll. .404 page not found. I call shenanigans. Localhost. Localhost 8080 / poll. Refresh when the scene becomes active. Aha! There we go. But it didn't return anything. Oh no. It is indeed API poll. I did indeed write. Yep, so I'm writing. Fetch current poll sends a response. Question answers. Oh, did I do a goof? No. That definitely should have done the thing. Okay. I use traffic for front end, which proxies to my apps, and handles Let's Encrypt. Ah, yes, traffic. Good old traffic. I'm only aware of traffic because of I think it was Kubernetes. Yeah, it was Kubernetes because traffic was used as a fabric for Kubernetes networking on this server. I think it was. Was it traffic or was it Calico? No, it was definitely traffic. Traffic was cool. Traffic was I don't fully understand everything that it does, but it kind of sort of reminded me of like a more capable Nginx. And I say more capable with the context that Nginx is bloody fantastic, but being able to have apps like Traffic that can do things like integrate with Let's Encrypt for you is glorious. And I kind of did something similar with this cluster. There we go. The cluster reaches out to Let's Encrypt, uses that as a source for SSL certificates. Once it gets its certificate, it then creates not service to service because I'm not using a service mesh, but it does create a SSL or a TLS termination point for the cluster, which is glorious. Actually, let's see here. What time is it? 9:30. Okay. Let me pause for just a second. I'm gonna go and grab some more water, and we'll be back. We're attempting to debug why that box is not showing any details. Background color, overflow hidden color, blah blah. Yeah, so it definitely should have been showing something at this point, but alas. So, but give me just a second. I'll be right back. And we're back. All right. Let's see here. Oh no. The kitties outside, they're waiting for the foods. Oh no, I already fed them. What am I talking about? There's some neighborhood cats that they're not mine, but they just kind of live in the neighborhood, and they are related to Zelda, and nobody will come to pick them up. It makes me very sad, so I just feed them. I feed them as much as I can. But okay, so let's see here. What do we have here? I'm looking at. Oh, here we go. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Something's not right here. Question test. We're going to get rid of that. Get rid of that. Yes. Okay. So, gonna rebuild this back to here so that we have something to look at. Okay. So that part. Well, that part at least we know that that part's working, but fetch content. Question becomes, what am I not doing correctly? Let's actually bring this down to p.question and ul.answers, I think is where we actually need to have that. Do wish that this refreshed automatically, but alas. Await on r.json, since it's within a then, if I remember correctly, you don't have to do an await, and especially on at this point the API response would have come back, so we should just be working on text at this point. So it's like I'm not getting this part properly. So what I can do though, since this is just plain old HTML, is that I can come into here and just change this to HTTP localhost 8080 API poll, and just do some good old console log. Poll box. Yoink. That needs to be over here. Thank you. Inspect. Console. Aha! Redeclaration of formal parameter answer. Ah. What? What? Oh, hello. Oh, right, because I was reading this and I was trying to read this in Japanese. Whoopsie. Redeclaration of formal parameter, blah, 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 occurs when the same variable name occurs in a function parameter and then is redeclared using a let assignment. So I'm guessing it's because I have that let internally, which makes me kind of sad. Also, here's a Toby. Close all that out. Okay, so it's of course a JavaScript issue because I don't know JavaScript. Which is true because we wouldn't need to do that fetch content over and over again. Or sorry, we wouldn't need to re-query the DOM for those over and over. So in here, though, it should be fine, but it's complaining that answer was the problem if I remember this. Oh. Yeah, no, there it goes. Formal parameter answer. Okay. Oh, right. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Yep. Yep. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. How you doing? The content attribute of window is deprecated. Please use window.top instead. I'm 40. Okay. Oh, bloody cores. Screw you, cores. And then this is not content. This should be container. So that's a problem. Right. All right. So change to bloop. This comes back to .api endpoint. Will you stop reformatting my code? Okay. Come back to here, go run. Okay. So we do need to fix that. So this would actually need to be for each fetch question.inner HTML equals blah, and then r.answers we need to clear create element. I'm afraid to do this. Yeah, we just need to clear those elements. I can't remember how to do that. JavaScript clear UL items. But I'm not using jQuery. So most people are just saying, do that, inner HTML equals empty, which makes sense. So let's do that. Inner HTML equals empty. Clear it out. Then we do that. Otherwise, we just get the error, 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 error. Okay. It's still doing the thing. Oh, it's not r.answers, it's literally just answers. We would actually want that to be in the success, such that if there is a failure, then we don't accidentally bork the poll. It just looks like the poll pauses for a second. There we go. Okay, so now we do have actually, this is why I wanted to have them separate. So we do have a slightly different structure for the answers. So type answer is a struct, and this struct is going to have a label JSON label, and a count, which I think we can just have as an int. JSON count. Do like that. And this is an array of answers. So this would actually be answer. Label is yep. Count is 12. Answer. Label is nope. Count is 42. Do a little something like that. So this is not a slice of string. This is now a slice of answer. This is complaining because redundant type from array. Oh, do we just do that? I didn't know you could do that. Or maybe I did know and I just forgot, but still. That is very small. That is insanely small. I wonder, font size 32 pixels? I wonder if I can actually do that. I can do that. Ah. Well, that's handy. Ta-da. I think it would probably be better if on the HTML itself, maybe it set it to be determined, but there we go. So it doesn't look the best, and I could solve that with I actually could solve that with HTML grid, CSS grid, excuse me. Let's see here. But what we're effectively doing is I forgot that I had created a separate format for answers. So bringing it back to why are we not using this? Short answer is because, well, it's ever so slightly different. So sweet. And I actually don't like it being in that direction. I like it being in that direction. Don't tell me that. You can only do that top level. That's right. All right. So we got our poll view. This is no longer correct. Current poll view renders and returns a blah. And then fetch current poll returns the current poll's question and voted answer state. Search state. Okay. Aside from making it a little bit cleaner, the other thing that we also want to do is, which we will do whenever we have this part integrated. So the next part would be we need to do a if bot.isPoll running, then we don't show anything. So we would do something like if s.bot.isPoll running. Well, in this case, actually, we'd want to do the inverse. If not, s dot write JSON w200 response question is empty, answers is an empty array of answers. We want to do something kind of sort of like that. Really? What are you complaining about? What actually are you complaining about? I'm missing a thing. Thank you! Like, what are you actually complaining about? You're complaining about me not doing the thing that I'm supposed to do. Derp. Thank you, really, Frank. So, if it's not running, we just send back empty so that we don't actually render anything. Now, we could be a little more sophisticated about this, because what I was considering doing was adding a background to this. Like a tiny little, I don't know, like a slightly aliased background. Ooh, that was interesting. There we go. So now we don't have a poll running, so it just disappears. But when we do have a poll running, then this is where we're going to fetch the poll, grab question and answers, formulate that into this JSON response, and then send it back. So, in order to do that, we would need to get the poll. So we would need... Do we have a way to fetch the poll at the moment? I don't think we do. We don't. Okay. And I think the only way that we would get that is from the poll handler. Yeah, because the poll handler is currently the one that's managing the cache. So that might be interesting. So more or less what I'm thinking about is the next step that we would need to be able to say, hey bot, return to me the questions, the answers, and the number of votes for each answer, which we don't currently have. Toby, you are drooling all over me. Appreciate you, boy. Toby. Well, we don't have an easy way of getting that at the moment. Now, what we could do... but then, so we're not really keeping a running count of this at the moment. We're only, yes, this is gonna screw me. So we're not really keeping a running count. We're just taking answers as they come in, appending them to a list, and then, we're gonna have to change that in order for that to continue working. Because now the bot's gonna have to keep track of the polls. Which for some reason I wasn't anticipating. Things to think about. A change from SQLite to BoltDB. BoltDB? What is this BoltDB? I feel like I've asked this question before. BoltDB. Embedded key value database. Ooh. Aw. An archive by the owner? Did this go somewhere else? stable. API is fixed and the file format is fixed. Full unit test coverage. Bolt is currently used in high-load production environments large as 1 terabyte. Many companies use it. Okay. B-Bolt. Original goal of Bolt was to that end, the project is a success. However, this limited scope also means that the project is complete. That's fair. Change the code, can have I no longer have the time or energy to continue this work. That's fair. Okay. And it's just key value. Bolt.open. db.update. A read-only view, a batch view. Yo, this is really cool. This is really cool. Huh. Color me curious. Very, very curious. This is like... this is like an abstraction over the cache that we built. Oh, that's cool. Okay, okay. So you use B-Bolt, okay. So B-Bolt is the updated version, okay. Provide the code community with active maintenance and development for Bolt. Improve reliability and stability. Preserving backwards compatibility. And it's pure Go. The thing that that caught me recently, so I'm thinking about a thing that we built at work specifically, and we were going back and forth on like, okay, well, what about what about the database layer? What about the persistence layer? And I basically bought it down from using a full-on database, like an RDS instance, to why don't we just use SQLite to a file, persistent volume claim on that file, and then this is not necessarily a mission critical app, but we could just use SQLite, and if we wanted to switch over to Postgres later, we could. We never switched. But the thing with SQLite is that all of the SQLite projects that use it, they require Sego. And as soon as you add Sego back into the mix, the binary bloated up, the build time bloated up, it was bloody awful. So having it be pure Go, very interesting. But then this as an alternative to just having something running locally, or as an alternative to something like Redis. Hey, Prajemko. Thanks so much for stopping by. Welcome to the lab. How you doing, mate? We are evaluating tech. Depends on how you serialize your data. I just use JSON because it's easy to look at in the Bolt browser, but you could use a fast custom binary serializer. Aha, okay. I mean, the fact that it has a Bolt browser in the first place is pretty freaking cool. Bolt.open. There's the file permissions. Got some options for things like timeouts and so forth. That's really cool. Yeah, that is really cool. I kind of want to give this a look. See here, and I'm guessing it's just right into a buffer, into a byte buffer. Yep. Okay. So as long as you serialize to bytes, yink. That's really cool. I'll probably give this a look a little bit later. Obviously, since this is the last stream for the bot, I might not do this. I won't be able to get to this on stream, but I might do a short recording for that, because that's really cool. Huh. Color me curious. Color me very curious. That's a really interesting suggestion, really, Frank. Oh, back to the bot. Land an internship where I'm coding front-end and Angular. Hey! Congrats on the internship. You might bring that up a little bit. We were actually just talking about Angular a little bit earlier, hence why we had a link to Svelte. But you say congratulations? Such a chill cat. Toby says congratulations on your internship. He's such a good boy. You know that? You know that, Toby? He knows that's why he gets away with so much. But I'm doing good. Pop down, Bubby. Ugh, now I got white hair all over me. I'm doing good. It's been a week. It's been a week. But now we're on the weekend, so we get to pretend that the week didn't happen. Haha. Alrighty. So now we've got an interesting thing to decide. So now that we're not just putting information into this cache, we're also now reading that information back out again. I'm thinking it makes sense to move the poll state back into the bot. Now, the other thing that we can also do is we don't necessarily have to have all of these methods running in the bot, or we don't have to have this all in this singular bot file. I think we should actually move this out into a separate file because this is just way too busy, we'll say. Also, why do I not have that in you? Do I not have that in? Wait a minute. Sorry. That. I don't. Show current line number. Hello? There we go. Sorry, I was noticing that, so I have relative line numbers, which helps me for identifying like how many numbers to type. So it's like 21K jumps me up 21 lines. It's really hard to see that just immediately. So that helps me, relative line number just helps me know, oh, if I wanted to jump down to say this logger.info line, it would be 10J. So that's what relative number is. But then it's still really handy to know which line you're on, like which line number you're on. So previously, if you just have set relative number on, this will show as 0 because there's nothing there, but that's not really handy. Instead, I like to have number set, which just shows the line number for the line that you're currently on. So anybody that was curious about what I'm doing in Vim, that's what I'm doing in Vim. That function syntax is confusing. Ooh. Function, if it's a method on a struct, then this is the receiver syntax. So this would be the equivalent of if you had a class bot, and then inside of that class you had a is poll running that returns a Boolean, which Java syntax. That would be the equivalent of what this is. So this is saying this is a function. In this case, it's a receiver function, meaning it's a function that that this struct that is going to be available on this struct, this bot struct. And then the function itself is poll running. Any arguments, which like down here. Duration is a time.duration, question is a string, answers is a slice of string, blah, blah, blah. And then the return type. the return type for the function specifically. 10-second elevator pitch, although I'm pretty sure I took more like 23, 24. Did I declare those functions somewhere before? No, we do not have to do method templating or method signatures like we do in C. The only thing that was declared before is this struct for the bot. And structs, similar to C structs, they're more or less just structs of data, but you have some handy things like embedding. Sync.mutex is a different struct, and it has some data and some functions that are available to it. Now they're available to the bot as a simple struct. And so everywhere else in the code, when you're referring to the bot struct, you have all of these methods that are available on the bot, which is kind of handy. I will admit, though, there's a little bit... So in regards to, should I take all of these functions, take them out of this file, and put them in the other file? God, that's a really long method. I never realized how long that that method was for closing the poll and counting each vote and all that. Yeah, that's not great. That's not great at all. So, what I think I'd like to do is I think I would like for the bot is currently storing whether the poll is running, the poll question, and answers is just a slice of string. What I think we could do we could just have this be poll answers, type poll answer struct, and then poll answer is answer, which is a string, then count, which is an integer. All right, poll answer keeps track of an answer label and number of votes. A label, answer label, and number of votes for that answer. So this is changing the game a little bit. Well, changing the game a lot. As you can see, we now have a wee bit of a problem. But start poll is still fine. We just need to do for underscore answer range over the answers that we were given. So we can do how did I do this before? Formatted answers. Sure. Poll answer. Oh, that's how I did it. Poll answers is a slice of poll answers. And then for each of these, we do poll answers equals append poll answer. And then for each of these, the answer is answer and the count is 0. All right. And then what? I'm doing a dumb. Doing a dumb, but I can't figure out what dumb I'm doing. Poll answers declared but not used, except that it's used right there. Oh, right. Hang on. I need my make. Been doing what you call it? I have been doing Python for too long. Oh no, send help. Poll answers. Append to poll answers, a poll answer. Bot.poll answers. This would be poll answers. Do like that. And then it's used right there. I call it some bullshit. Brr. Sorry about that. I was struggle busing hardcore there. Woof. So, when we start the poll running, poll question, poll answers are formulated like so. However, I think that poll answers actually needs to be not a slice, but a map. I think it needs to be a map of string poll answer. Something like that. Back to get some water. I thought that maybe those functions work like in C++, where you declare them first in header files and then make bodies for them in CPP files. Gotcha. In Go, thankfully, we don't have to do that. We don't have the concept of header files, which is glorious, not gonna lie. Twitch keeps reconnecting me to the chat every few minutes. Oh no. Uh-oh. Twitch, what you doing? Twitch. I had a little bit of issue yesterday with Rodamon stream. Yep. Is that command working? It is. Did it actually go into the right spot though? That's the real question. Aha, it is. Thank goodness. I was running into a weird thing where like I joined the stream and then immediately when I joined the stream, like I was starting to do stuff and it immediately cut me off. Like, what? Why? And then like 2 seconds later, it's like, you've joined the stream or you joined the chat. It's like, I already joined the chat? Question mark. But okay. Yeah. I mean, look, Twitch kind of being a global scale application, you gotta expect some shit's gonna go wrong at some point. Okay, so now we're gonna have a a map of string poll answer. And for underscore answer equals range answers. So now poll answers answer equals poll answer. That's it seems a little redundant, but more or less what I'm going to allow for this to do is just dump out all values in the map, and then that way the answer is already going to be contained and the count is going to be contained. So this being a map of string, the string is going to be the answer. or the answer that you're voting for. Or actually, no, it's not. It's actually going to be a number. So that's not technically true. This is actually going to be index, which means that the poll answer is actually an integer to poll answer. The integer needs to be up here as well. So, correction, because the poll is going to be, here's the answers, but to vote for them, you type 1, 2, 3, etc. So the integer is going to be mapped to a poll answer. That's going to have the original label and the count. There we go. We got corrected. It's all the hot tub streamers destroying Twitch's bandwidth. Oh man, you're probably right. Oh no. And just for the record, the lab will never become a hot tub stream. Sorry. A, that sounds terrible. Nobody wants to see that. B, laptop in a hot tub? Ooh. Well, actually, this would be a Mac Mini, so that's even worse. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the lab. It's quite warm today. No. Not to mention, I have to haul a hot tub up here. Ooh. Nope. We ain't doing it. All right. You're welcome. All right. So now start poll. When we start the poll, we're basically just initiating state in the bot. But what that does mean is that we are going to need. So this is no longer underscore poll answer range bot.poll answer. Actually, we do need the key. So this is, this will just be K, and this will be poll answer dot answer. So we got to fix the message now that we're reading from a map. The interesting thing though is that we're gonna have to make sure that I'll actually be curious to see if this is gonna be ordered. I think the answer is no. But maybe if we're inserting by index, maybe we'll retrieve by index. I'm being a little hopeful. Just a little hopeful. Okay, and then this whole thing kind of blows up, but what I think I want to do is add a new function. And then we want to do add poll vote, and this is a key integer. So can't rely on map order. Yeah, I know. I'm hopeful, but I know that's not going to work. What we could do is we could get all keys. Get all keys, sort them, and then do a thing, but yeah, we'll get there. So add poll vote is going to be as simple as bot dot poll answers key dot count plus equals 1. But we cannot. Oh yeah, right. We can't do that. We would need to do. Would we need to reassign it? I think we would need to reassign this. Answer. No, that's not right. Cannot assign to struct field in map. Okay, so answer equals poll answer dot count plus equals 1. And then I'm not assigning. Get out of here. I guess we could, yeah, okay. Okay, fine. We'll do the postfix. And then bot dot poll answers equals answer. Add poll vote increments the count for the given answer key. Something like that. Maybe just a slice of num answers and poll answer. We could do that, yeah. It's a fair point. That's a fair point, actually. So in that world, the first index would be the answer number. Think of how that would work. So this would be poll answers trying to think if I'm trying to think of how. That is technically what we would have been doing earlier. Yeah, no, that's right. So yeah, okay. And I guess in that case, we would have a, oops, I'm gonna do that. Poll answers would be a make poll answer Lynn answers, something like that. And then each index would be assigned to a poll answer. Answer would be answer, count would be 0. And from there, we do like that. This would still be index. So this would be like that. Add poll vote. Count plus plus. So let me change this to a slice of poll answer. Oops. So now that would look like that. That would look like that. That would look like that. Yep, that would be key -1. Oh, thank you, Amazon. And then when we close the poll, everything's there. Good catch. Good catch, really, Frank. That is a hell of a lot easier. I was thinking in my head, oh, simplicity of access. We could just do a map of integer to the, and it never rings in my head that whenever I have a map where the integer or where the key is an integer, that if the key is an integer, that's basically just slice access, and it's usually a smell if it's what you call it. It's usually a smell if that is if that's what you're doing. Validate key, absolutely. If key is less than 0 or key greater than len bot dot poll answers. This would actually be greater than equal to invalid vote. Skip. Otherwise, bot.poll answers key -1 dot count plus plus. And then boop, key is less than 1. Thank you. Let's see here. And actually, it wouldn't be greater than equal to. It would indeed be greater than len, because greater than len -1 would be the last key. So. And then we'll get to the close poll part in a second. Let me go to the bot poll handler, which technically we are double checking, if you will. But votes error equals that, assumed to not be a valid vote. We're double checking this, so we actually don't need to double check this anymore. Yeah. So we don't need to double check this here. Already voted, I will probably leave in the poll handler. And we'll just use the bot for state. But we'll have this manage whether or not voters can vote multiple times or not. If it's a valid vote, though, do that. And then bot.add poll vote. This would be stracom.i2a vote. Stracom. There we go. Not I to A. Sorry. This would be we don't need a stracom. Vote is already an integer. So we don't need to do that. Yoink. So now the poll handler, it's still reading the message. It's still validating whether or not it's a valid number. It's doing that part for us. And then it's also working with the what you call it? Okay. I'll deal with that later. So it's still containing the logic for whether or not a voter has already voted. But beyond that, we're still using the cache as well for voters, but we're now storing the votes themselves inside of the bot. So we do like that. And then if strings that has prefix poll, we go back to poll message. So all of that actually was the easy part. Now we got to clean up this. So we no longer need to count each vote. We now just need to go through bot.poll answers. So, and this would be highest count. And actually make this -1. because that's something that I've always done for maximal values. And I guess we could also do well, nah, we'll just do it the direct way. If count is greater than highest index equals that, highest count equals count dot count, and this would not be count, this would be answer. Something like that. What are you complaining about? Undeclared name count. Yeah. If answer dot count is greater than highest index count. So in this case, we can do highest index is -1. We can say if highest index equals -1, if no votes, clear it. Otherwise, we do this. All right, so highest index +1 bot dot poll answers highest index bot dot poll answers dot count dot answer. You know, we could also just assign the poll answer to it. We could definitely just go 1.18. I think we'll be able to do winning answer equals poll answers dot max. Oh, I love me some inline functions. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. I need this in my life. I need more functional in my life. More life. Now for the fun question, when is Go 1.18 coming out? Let's see here. Give me just a second here. Okay. I'm gonna make sure I get that out. All right. Yeah, I feel like this would be, we could just do winning answer equals poll answer. Maybe something like this. Winning answer dot count. If they hold their usual schedule, it'll come out the first half of 2022. I need this in my life. And winning answer equals answer. Could save us a little bit of trouble here. So if answer.count is greater than winning answer.count, highest index equals index, and winning answer equals answer. And then from there, we just do winning answer is format.sprintf, highest index. Then we don't have to do that. We can just do winning answer.answer and winning answer.count. Something like that. Now, what are you complaining about? Cannot use as poll answer. Oh, sorry. Winner string. Oh, right, we're accounting for ties here. So index, so we do the exact same thing here. If so if answer.count equals winning answer.count, then we say winner string plus equals blah, winner string plus equals format dot printf, and then this one is going to be answer.answer and answer.count. A little something like that. I forgot that we were accounting for ties because I didn't read far enough in. So this is a heck of a lot simpler. But let's see what we got. So we got winning answer. So first we find the highest. If no votes, then we exit immediately. Otherwise, we check for the winner. Or in this case, we know a winner, so we plop that one in first. But then we also look for ties. So if another answer's count equals the winning answer.count, we have a tie, we append that to the string, off we go. And then bot.sendMessage, do that. Now, it might be beneficial. No, I don't. I was thinking about whether or not it would be beneficial to send down the current winner, but I don't think we're gonna do that this time. Poll answer. Poll answer. There's the O. I don't think we're gonna do that this time. I just don't think I have enough time, unfortunately. But we should at least with this be able to say, okay, here's the current state. So let's see here. So now we have the start, the add answer, the close poll, the clear poll. We are no longer going to use poll answers. So I'll run that just for the sake of clearing out the existing cache value, but we're not going to need that anymore. So to do remove. Well, actually, no. If we clear this out, that file is going to get cleared out, so that's fine. So poll running false, question, answers, clear. And that's pretty much it. We also need get poll results or get poll state. So we'll do another one of these. And now for the curious question is, how do we represent this? Get poll state, I think I'll call it. Get poll state returns the current question, answers, and vote counts for each answer. And now the question becomes, how do I send that across? Because I don't have a struct for this right now. Right now it's just separate fields. But what we could do could have it as a struct, but alternatively we could also just return a string and a slice of poll answers. That would be the lazy way of doing it. So we would return bot.poll question and bot.poll answers. That would be the very lazy way of doing it. Yeah, you know, maybe that's not lazy, but it's definitely not the typed approach, but I think that's fine, because poll state, for the purposes of what we're doing, we are only really going to need the string, the question, and the poll answer. So answer, nope, that's not right. Answers. We could do this. So we say question. This is one way of doing it. I'm not sure if I really like this approach, but answers equals bot dot poll answers, and then you return. I go back and forth on whether or not I do this, and the reason that I was pondering naming them is that in our fetch current poll, if the bot is not running, then we do that. Otherwise, then we say question and answers equals bot dot get poll state. This would be s.bot get poll state. And when you get autocomplete over this, or not autocomplete, but in this case, this would be the equivalent of hover state. You'll get the function signature. So func get poll state, key is an integer. Although get poll state, I don't know why. Oh, right. I know why it has. Hold on. Right. Let me fix that. Delete. There you go. So now for get poll state, if you hover over it, it'll show you that the return is a string and a slice of poll answer, but it also gives you a name for those things. So it's kind of sort of like a named output. And technically you would know that from the variable descriptions, but if you're calling this function and trying to figure out what it is, this is just like a quick way of showing on, what most IDEs would do is they would pop up a window that shows the signature of that function. For me, since it's Vim, it's down here, but same general concept. So question and answers. So response. So resp equals response. So question is question. And then let's see here. Then we would do for underscore answer is over range of answers. We would say response dot answers. Did that just autocomplete? It did. Oh, that's so cool. Label is answer dot answer dot answer. I don't know what it thinks it's doing right now, but sure. And then count is answer dot count. Something like that. Oh, do I actually have to do poll answer here? Probably do. Poll answer. Bring that down like so. What is this? Missing that. that. Unknown field. Okay. What you complaining about? Answer is a bot.poll answer. So this is complaining because... Oh, right. It's this is not a bot.answer. This is our answer. There we go. Got to remember which objects I'm running through. And then this becomes just response. So for this part, we're just grabbing the current poll state from the bot, both question and answers. We're creating a response struct that has the question, and then for each answer, we're just taking it from bot.poll answer and turning it into this answer struct that can be serialized into JSON. That's this one. Into this one, which is serialized into the JSON that we're expecting. Ooh. All right. So now the question becomes, did we do everything right? I wonder if I do this, can I still just return bot.poll question and bot.poll answers? I can. Okay. So you have both options in Go for when you're doing multiple returns. You can either just have the types and then you return it accordingly. But if you do it this way, server poll handler, if you do it this way, when you hover over it, you just get the types of the return. And if you're foregoing a struct for multiple returns, I personally like to have the names. So in this case, it would be question and answers, so that whenever I'm consuming this and I'm looking at the signature of this function, it tells me explicitly this is a question, this string is the question, and this slice of poll answer is the answers. The second one's a little redundant, but I like it for consistency's sake. Okay. Dare we try to rebuild and rerun this thing? Ooh. Okay. Type error failed to fetch. Try that again. All right. Oh, right. I need to, I have to create the poll again. Don't know what that was. Now, did I have a... Yeah, I did. Put up secret here. Just in case. I don't think this has any secrets. No, it doesn't. Okay. I was having a moment of like, does this have stuff in here that I don't want? But no, thankfully no. And this is now poll. So if we do poll.sh, chmod, poll. Oh, right, because I just ran the script last time. That's right. Do like that. Go into Vim. Oh, hey, there it is. The numbers are wrong, so we will have to fix that. Yep, numbers are wrong. So let's go into the bot and send poll message. So send poll message. Here we need index +1. That should fix that. But it was updating. And then I'm assuming that I still can't vote. Vote twice. Correct. Okay. Folks in chat, if you could throw a couple votes up there just to make sure that this is indeed working. Well, working the way that I want it to. That is definitely not going to be where the poll lives, but details. Chaos testing. Ha ha ha. All right. And then I think we had this going for, was it 3 minutes? Server poll handler. Yeah. So for 3 minutes, more or less, this poll is gonna run, which is okay. But looks like it is doing exactly what I want it to. Glorious. Starting new poll. Is the poll working? Poll started. Type a number in chat to vote. So we just fixed the indices for the answers. So we'll get to that here in just a sec. But while that's running, let me go check on the cat real quick. I'll be right back. Cat for the win. Okay. So at least that one is still working, or at least the I'll call it the index. The index one is still working. The poll winner won yes with 2 votes. And then the poll goes away. Glorious. All right, so just to make sure that I fixed the index issue, poll.sh, poll started. 1 is yes, 2 is no. Perfect. Awesome. Although type error failed to fetch. So it doesn't fix itself on the catch. That's very interesting. Why doesn't it fix itself on the catch? Did some Go 2 playing? Oh, is that the next major version for Go? Oh. I've heard I've seen a lot of the slander about some of the things that Go 2 is bringing, but I don't know. I think I like it. I think I like what Go 2 is about to do. Do we have to reset the interval? Is that what we have to do? Okay, so the interval fixed itself there, and now it's failed. So now if we rerun it again, the other labels fix themselves, so why doesn't the poll? I'm just noticing that, so the labels, if I kill the bot, so all the labels go into type error, failed to fetch. And all I really have to do is, well, restart the bot. Oh, never mind. Now they're all borked. Oh boy. Oh no, there they go. So they fix themselves. Why do they fix themselves? But the poll box doesn't. Tried to find the winning poll and go to, probably not correct, but it was fun trying. Oh? Now I'm curious. Ah, I see. We have the type numeric interface. Oh, I see, with the types and whatnot. Gotcha. Oh, wow. That's some code right there. I feel like I need to catch up on some of the generic typing for Go2. I just haven't looked at it recently. That is really cool. Huh. Definitely need to spend more time looking at that. One day, someday. I've gone back and forth on whether or not I wanted generic types or not, and there are a couple of things that have come up where I'm like, you know, generic types probably would have been useful here if I wanted to write something abstract. Key point there, if I wanted to write something abstract. But, oh, it's because we're overwriting this. That's why. Okay. So what I think we should do instead is have a section class equals error. And instead of this being container, this should be error. So instead of, and I'm trying to double check to make sure we're not using container anywhere else. So what was happening is that the reason that the labels updated themselves but the poll was not is that in the case of an error, this was overwriting the entire HTML content. So it was overwriting the poll section from being a P and a UL to just being a text node. And so that's why it's currently stuck on type error failed to fetch. Instead, what we should do and what we could do is just have an error field. So we have something like that. We refresh the box. But now you're not refreshing. Oh dear. I wonder if I start another poll. Poll started, type a number in chat. Nope. Nope, that's not updating. Oh boy. Why you gotta be a jerk, poll box? Why? Oh, it's because error is not actually section.poll, it's section.error. Derp, 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 derp. It's not being a jerk, I'm just being a dumb. Okay. Refresh. 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 Hello? Oh, and I guess we should also error dot inner HTML equals empty in order for that to actually work. Or in order for that to actually refresh, I guess. I'm losing my mind. Anyway, that is a label that I will worry about at some point. but not this day. I called it section.error, right? Yeah, section class equals error. Shenanigans. Shenanigans. Is the bot working? Nope. Let's see here. Yeah, so inner HTML would be empty. Catch error, error.inner HTML would be error, and I could have sworn that we didn't have to do this, but what do I know? I actually don't know what it's doing, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll leave it alone. I'll fix that at some point, because that's definitely just gonna bother me. Like, why? You're not failing anymore. You should be perfectly fine. Ugh. Anyway, we are going to leave this here, I think. We got close. We got very close. I am genuinely very confused as to why this is being a jerk, but alas. And now I'm looking at it and being like, is there something that I can do? I don't think so. Ugh. But anyway, we are gonna leave it there, because it is just about time for me to take off. So closing this down, closing that down. So real quick, I will take all the things that we did today. I will post those up to the, I think there is still a, pretty sure there's still a pull request for this. Double check. Yeah, there's still a thing for it. What was that? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all this, I'm gonna commit all this, git add, git commit m, add on screen, poll label, move poll answer tracking into the bot versus the cache. Git push origin current branch. And so with that brings us to what is effectively the last episode for the bot on stream, at least as a series. Again, like I said last time, I will probably come back to the bot on stream at some point. If there's something that I'm working on, if I get to a point of like, hey, I figured out event sub is now working. If we deploy the bot, if we do this, that, or the other, you know, if there's something major that's coming up or that I'm working on or finishing, I'll probably come back to the bot on stream. But for now, this will mark the last episode of at least working on the bot on stream as a series, which 53 episodes in, which is nuts. It's actually wild to think that this has been going for, well, 53 episodes, so that's 53 streams, which I know I was doing 2 streams a week at one point, so we'll simplify it and call it 40 weeks, something like that. It's been a while. So first and foremost, thank you everybody that has stuck around for this lovely adventure. This is not the end of the stream. We are going to continue streaming. We're just going to start on a new project. So I'm still working out what that new project exactly is going to be. In the last stream, I kind of touched on, you know, there was the idea of building a 2D game. I'm probably not going to be able to do that just yet. Still kind of like getting myself familiar with some of the concepts and such. At least so that the entire time is not just you watching me Googling, even though, you know, again, the whole point of this is to to simulate real life development, and a lot of it is just Googling. But I know that that's not exactly insanely entertaining to watch. So for the game, I'm probably going to take a little bit of time to just get up to speed on a couple of things. I'm digging into Ebaton a little bit just so that I can kind of catch myself up. So I'll probably fall back to the other recommendation that people were giving me, which was to build an actual like web app. So the bot kind of sort of started down that route, but then we kind of went away from it so that it could actually just be a utility for the stream. So there's a couple of things that people wanted to see, such as like what does database querying look like in Go? How do we deal with actual like cache layers, caching database queries and so forth? And then also the deployment of these things. What does that look like? So getting into some more of the DevOps side of things. So I'm formulating an idea for what we can actually build. It'll be a dummy project. It's not going to be a commercialized thing or anything like that, because we don't commercialize in the lab. We don't need funding or something. So we'll be looking at that. I'm gonna formulate what that looks like, put some content together for the start of the next stream, and we'll kind of go from there. But let's see here. I was told that I should do this. So we have we don't have a Discord link. So I will add that in shortly. So we do have a Discord. I believe the link is in the About section. It's not a very active Discord. It's mostly for if you wanted to chat with me, if you wanted to get notifications outside of Twitch for when the stream starts. But if you wanted to pose questions to me or ask me about the project or suggest new projects, Discord's a fantastic place to do that. Let's see here. All VODs go up to the YouTube channel. Oh, that's why it's not doing it. It's because the bot's not running. Hello. Go run. You can tell that I was prepared for this, right? Let's try that again. YouTube. There it is. Then do I actually have a Discord command? I do. Aha. So it helps if the bot is actually running. That's another thing that I'm probably gonna do off stream, is actually like host the bot somewhere, but not today. So I do upload all VODs for the stream onto YouTube for archival purposes, since obviously Twitch gets rid of them after a while. So all VODs and all off-stream like short clips that I do, I also upload those to YouTube. There's not a lot of those, but you may see a couple more of those show up for the bot here and there. And then again, if you wanted to join the Discord, by all means, we'd love to have you. But for now, that'll do it for today. So thank you all so much for stopping by. I hope this was enjoyable for you all. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care, everybody.